Tomorrow, the Kenosha County Sheriff is expected to talk about a death investigation going on in the town of Paris. This follows the report of a body found along this quiet highway that you see right there yesterday. Few details are being released at this hour, but a press release indicates they've been in touch with the family of whom they're calling the victim in all of this. You can watch for more developing information on our newscast tomorrow here on CBS 58.
We have more information tonight about a body discovered along a lonely road in Paris, Kenosha County. CBS 58's Sarah Barwatz joins us live with the very latest. Sarah?
All this week, family members have been seen passing out these flyers looking for Taiwan Anderson. He was last seen, according to family members, with a man and has never been seen again.
Flyers of hope have been replaced with the reality that Taiwan Anderson won't be returning home to his kids tonight.
It's unreal. It don't feel right. Like, it still don't feel right. Like, yeah, it's hard to believe.
Anderson's cousin says the sheriff's department contacted the family saying they believed a body and a van found in Parrish Township is Taiwan Anderson's. The medical examiner is still comparing dental records, but his girlfriend first reported him missing 9 days ago. Neighbors say that he always came home.
It was unusual for him not to be around because his kid, he goes back and forth all day long, and he never leaves from home too long.
The sheriff says the body was found about 1,000 feet off a country road that was heavily grass covered. He doesn't want to give out information that only key suspects would know about the scene.
We have a few people of interest that we're trying to locate. We do not believe that the people in the area, the community, are at risk. We believe this was a targeted incident.
While the sheriff says they already know who they're looking for, the family waits for answers.
I hope they do their job right. I hope they do everything they can to find whoever did it.
The medical examiner's office is not releasing the cause of death yet because of the investigation. However, if you have any information, make sure to call the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. Reporting live here in Kenosha, Sarah Barwatz, CBS 58 News.
Thank you, Sarah. New at 10, there is now a person of interest in a Kenosha County death investigation from last weekend. Officials are calling him armed and dangerous with a lengthy criminal history and are hoping you can help find him.
Andrew will stay in this location because this is his home. This is where he hangs out. This is where he steals things from. This is his connections to whether it be drugs.
32-year-old Andrew Obregon led deputies on a chase with speeds at more than 100 miles an hour today in Parrish Township. They lost sight of him in a stolen black Ford Mustang near Union Grove. Deputies want to talk to him about 37-year-old Taiwan Anderson, who went missing from Milwaukee and was found dead in Parrish Township Saturday. The two are thought to be friends. The sheriff tells us they do not believe Obregon is a threat to the public. But if you see him, the black Mustang he was driving in, or know where he is, you're asked to call 262-605-5100 or Crime Stoppers.
Developing this morning, authorities in Kenosha County on high alert after a sighting of a man believed to be the guy they have been looking for days in connection to a homicide.
Andrew Obregon has been on the run since Friday. Police were actively searching overnight in this area. You can see the map on your screen between Bristol and Paris, but that's not the case right now. CBS 58's Matt Doyle is in Kenosha County with new developments.
Well, they searched late last night for him for the man that they believe to be Obregon after getting a tip that someone thought there was a suspicious person working on a car at an industrial park. The Racine County Sheriff's Office responded when they approached that man at the industrial park. The man took off from police and led them on a chase. Now, they believe that man was Obregon, but he took off, and you can see his picture here on the screen for you. Authorities used ground searches. They brought in the gang unit as well as a helicopter last night to try to help this search out. The call had come in a little before 9 o'clock last night, and the man ended up disappearing into a farm field again. He's been able to do that a few times now. Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth says he's been very elusive of authorities. Beth says that Obregon grew up in this area in Kenosha County and knows the area very well, including the back roads and many of the fields that he's been escaping into. As far as kids going to school today, something that many were probably getting ready to go to school today, the sheriff says they're going to add patrols nearby those schools.
Schools are still open. Schools are keeping the kids in during recess time, And then we're also posting a squad when school opens and when they let the kids out, just for a little comfort for the school and the parents and the kids.
And again, within the last hour or so, I spoke with a lieutenant from the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. They said there's no active search going on right now. They're just simply waiting to see if they get any more tips from people in the public, and that's why they're asking for your help. If you know anything, you're urged to contact the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. Reporting live in Kenosha County this morning, Matt Doyle, CBS 58 News.
An update to the manhunt now entering its second week in Kenosha County. The Sheriff's Department confirming 3 of the vehicles believed to be driven by Andrew Obregon have been recovered. The department has a black 1988 Mustang, a white 2015 Ford Transit van, and a white 2001 Ford Dually pickup. While the vehicles have been recovered, the search for Obregon continues. He is wanted in connection with a homicide, at least 2 robberies, car thefts, and high-speed chases. Obregon's mother also facing charges. 60-year-old Susan Obregon was arrested earlier in the week, and now she's been formally charged with aiding a felon, which is a felony offense itself. Officials say the charges are related to her lying about being in contact with her son. Authorities continue to scour remote areas of Kenosha County. A local man is offering up the help of his drone to try and make the search a little easier. CBS 58's April DeVorney brings us that story from Kenosha.
Every time authorities have cornered Obregon, he's managed to outrun them and disappear in a cornfield, something Adam Andrews says wouldn't be possible if a drone was involved.
Faster, quieter, cheaper, and safer than manned aircraft.
In this video put together by Adam Andrews, you can see how a suspect hiding in a cornfield is quite visible from the air.
We can fly literally a foot above the corn stalk, and not disrupt any of the vegetation or really bother anybody either.
During 2 pursuits, suspect Andrew Obregon has lost authorities by ducking into a cornfield, which doesn't surprise Andrews.
If we were to walk in this cornfield here just 5 or 6 feet, we'd almost really disappear.
Andrews says a ground search in these corn stalks is more dangerous than the public realizes.
An officer doesn't want to go running in there after him because he doesn't know if he has a gun, he doesn't know what he's going to do, he doesn't know which way he went. People think, just sending the dogs, but canines can cost $30,000 to $50,000 for a department.
Which is why he's offering up his drone.
We can go back and forth, we can take photographs, video, and if we don't see it, we can actually go back and look at those videos and stills on a laptop.
Quieter and cheaper than a helicopter.
It's like $1 an hour versus $1,500 and on up an hour.
But just as high tech, able to use thermal imaging at night.
So it knows the difference between the temperature of a corn stalk and the temperature of a human. The human stands out because they're a brighter color. They're going to pop out like a sore thumb.
Andrews is offering his service free to law enforcement because he, like the rest of his community, wants Obregon safely caught.
We're able to go in and not put anybody in harm's way. Worst case scenario, somebody does something to the drone, we're out a few $1,000s.
Law enforcement has used a helicopter to search for Obregon with no luck. As for Andrews, he says he's ready to offer his services whenever authorities reach out to him. For now, reporting in Kenosha, April DeVorney, CBS 58 News.
Started chasing him. And they had their guns out.
A dangerous murder suspect finally in police custody tonight, and only CBS 58 talks with the woman who watched the takedown from her home. The Kenosha County Sheriff confirms Andrew Obregon has been caught after nearly a 2-week chase.
But not before a 59-year-old woman was beaten and life-flighted to the hospital. She was seriously hurt during a carjacking in Obregon's hometown of Brighton. He was then spotted on foot in Winthrop Harbor, Illinois, just over the state line, and that's where he was taken into custody. We have live team coverage. CBS 58's Marshana Hester is looking into how Obregon got the car he drove to Illinois. We begin with CBS 58's Eric Levy, who spoke exclusively with the woman who saw today's chase. Eric?
Yeah, Michelle and Bill, that silver Chevy Spark that Kenosha deputies say he stole during a carjacking, then drove it here. Well, behind me, by the cornfield behind me, is where he ditched the car before he took off running. And a woman who lives right across the street from this area watched as police here in Illinois desperately tried to take him down.
He was screaming at him pretty good, and he started running, and the cops started chasing him. And they had their guns out. They weren't just, stop. They were getting him.
The peace and quiet of this small town called Winthrop Harbor is disrupted by this presence of police and by the unwelcome visit from Andrew Obregon. Cheryl Afridi ran outside the second she heard the sirens. Obregon was trying to outrun their supercharged police cruisers in this economy car.
The spark stopped. The police opened their doors, told the guy to get out, put your hands up. Who was ever in there? The guy got out and ran down the road and jumped through the thicket into the cornfield.
Running through the cornfield seems to be Obregon's MO. At some point during the chase, the Lake County Sheriff's Office says one of the law enforcement officers shot him, but at this point they're not willing to say who it was. Lafridi's family says they heard 3 gunshots. This is where the 2-week search for Obregon ended, along Lewis Avenue. Obregon was taken to the hospital by ambulance, then released and sent to jail. His crime spree, which made it to the news here in Illinois,
I'd heard about it from my neighbors.
finally ended in front of Cheryl Lafridi's house.
I don't tend to freak out and panic too much. I kind of know what's over there, so I figured he'd be running that way and not coming my way.
You know, the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department told the Lake County Sheriff's Department and others in this area 2 weeks ago to be on the lookout for Obregon. So when they got the alert today that he may be heading over the state line and into this area, they were ready, and it paid off for sure. Meantime, Obregon is having charges pending against him. And we are live tonight from Lake County, Illinois. Eric Levy, CBS 58 News.
We're hearing the first comments from the family of a murder victim, a man who may have been killed by Andrew Obregon.
24 hours ago, we reported the arrest of Obregon, who'd eluded authorities in Kenosha County for about 2 weeks. Well, Obregon was actually arrested in northern Illinois after a chase that started in Wisconsin and wound up across the border in Lake County. This morning, Obregon appeared in court and bond was denied.
Obregon is a suspect for the murder of a man whose body was found in a cornfield. Today, CBS 58's Jacob Kittelstad talked with the murder victim's sister. Jacob joins us live from Illinois.
That's right. Out here, authorities fired at least one shot at Obregon, hitting him in the arm. And they're calling it a non-life-threatening injury. Now, this is all very scary for the family of the victim. In fact, the twin sister of the victim lives a short distance away from here.
He's got me in Taiwan when we was 2 years old.
Looking through pictures taken more than 3 decades ago, Tahitha Anderson can't help but share happy memories.
We'll watch a karate movie, and me and Taiwan and my little brother come outside and try to do what's all on the karate movies. He tried to cook for us, burn spaghetti, him and my little brother. He was somebody that I could talk to and tell everything to. When I couldn't talk to nobody, I can talk to my twin.
Tahitha says all her life, and her brother Taiwan's, all 37 years of it, she could feel her brother's emotions. She says that includes the moment he was shot.
And I was washing dishes, and I felt my whole, just like, my breath and everything, life went lifeless, and I was on the floor at my job, and when I came to, I'm looking around like, you know, like, how did I get down here? I say about 5 minutes after that, I got a phone call from my cousin, and she was like, Taiwan is missing.
Authorities found his body 1,000 feet back into a Kenosha County cornfield. Authorities say Andrew Obregon is a suspect in the death and characterized what happened as a drug deal gone wrong. Anderson's family disagrees, saying the sheriff's department originally tried to make Obregon look harmless while skewering their relative with a drug story.
That is not the reality.
And that makes us only more angry, you know, for him to represent him like that or introduce him into the world, the public, as a drug dealer or a drug deal going bad. You know, that's not the case.
Taiwan Anderson's funeral is scheduled for October 17th at the Midwest Memorial Chapel in Chicago.
The one-time farmhand who led Kenosha County officials on a nearly 2-week-long manhunt now facing life in prison plus 439 years.
And in my lifetime, I've never experienced the type of behaviors and conduct that Mr. Obregon is alleged to have exhibited.
Yeah, even the court commissioner commenting on the crime spree of Andy Obregon, who fled after being declared the suspect in the fatal shooting of Taiwan Anderson. Police say Obregon has confessed to the killing and leaving the victim's body in a van near a cornfield. He's charged with a series of crimes from car theft to robbery while he was on the run. His bond set at $5 million, a record for Kenosha County.